Good evening and welcome to Ask the Plasterer News at 7 o'clock with me, Eric the Plasterer. Bong! Okay guys, as a lot of you are probably bored of hearing, Ask the Plasterer community, I don't forget the point, community live forum on Discord, live group text, audio and video chat. Come on. Invite links in all the descriptions of all my videos, so we can meet together there as groups, not just on like a one-to-one basis of me talking and one of you typing something up that I can answer. We can all chat to each other. Plus I want to try out the video feature that is on that bit of kit, see if it works. It works with just me because I've seen just me on it. Yeah, I'm going to pop on there briefly for a little while after Ask the Plasterer tonight, just to have a little mess about on there, try it out. So you're happy to pop along, welcome to pop along there if you want to, and we'll test the thing out. I'm going to be popping on there regular time slot on a Saturday. It'll probably be between 10 and 11 o'clock, so people know if they want to ask me anything or meet up on there. As a group or as one-to-ones, we can do that on a Saturday morning between 10 and 11, and obviously I'll be popping on there randomly whenever I get the chance in between working for a living. That's the only bit that spoils it, having to work for a living. A lot of you guys know that though, don't you? Summer's coming though, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Okay.
Call now on 07516 214 983. Call now on 07516
I've changed my phone
214
number.
983.
It was a bit creepy before.
Call now on 07516 214 983.
Hi Eric, when rendering, do you use waterproofing, the scratch coat and the top coat? I definitely use it in the scratch coat. A lot of it if I'm doing pebble dashing, mate, and if I'm just rendering rubbed up, I don't tend to put it in the second coat. You can do if you want to. Also, if I'm doing a rubbed up top coat, I'll only put a very small amount of waterproofer in the bottom coat. This is assuming you're not using it as a water to keep any kind of damp out. So yes, mate, that's it. Hope that helps. Right. Probably have a look on this wrong way out. Everything's back to front. This side of the screen. That, if you haven't looked on there already, yeah, there is that video I put up, basically of the Ask the Plasterer forum that we can meet up on. Hi Cam. When you change scenes on OBS, your microphone is playing twice. Oh no. Is it playing twice now? Well, hello? Let me know if this is okay, Cam, if you can. Thank you. So when I change over to something like this, it only happened when you change scenes. Has it happened now on this one, or is this okay? So it's still echoing at the minute. But only if it's only when I change scenes, then that's cool. But if it's back to normal. Okay, brilliant. Thank God for that. There hasn't been a week yet where there hasn't been some kind of issue. I've got the words back, as you can see on the screen. It feels like you're there when I can see it, and you can read it up there easier probably than looking at it on your phone. But okay, oh dear. Diggity da, hello mate, hello. Right, while I'm on this page, obviously this is that review of that tripod. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. it's a lovely bit of kit. It's 20 quid. I couldn't believe it, and it's not plastic either. That's made of metal, that thing. And I've never seen that sprung loaded thing. Just putting the legs in the bottom, it's like any other light tripod you use for work. But the fact you can take those out, not have any feet sticking out on the bottom, and basically pull it down and spring fix it between any ceiling and floor, because it's adjustable, goes up a long way if you use all three legs. But yeah, I'm using it tonight. I've got my kind of studio's worked out in a big bay window, and I just pull the thing down, adjust it so it fits tight into the bay, clip my light on it. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be very dark in here. But yeah, it's cool. Over here on the screen as well, Trowel Talk. That is a friend of mine, great plasterer. He's got a YouTube channel, and he also has this great Facebook group, Trowel Talk, and it's from seasoned professional spread Stuart Roberts. It's a really nice guy. Trowel Talk on there, it's kind of completely different to what we've got here on Ask the Plasterer, but the only way you'll find out how that is you'll need to go on there and yeah, and enjoy. Also, my mate Joel down here, Rendivate is his company. Again, that's his YouTube channel. He does a lot of exterior stuff as well as interior, but I don't really touch all this new stuff that you can put on the outside of buildings now. I was an old-fashioned sand and cement guy, but Joel, he uses all the latest gear, so if you need to know anything about that, give him a try, give him a buzz, check out his channel, and yeah, there we go. Okay, right, again with Stuart, yeah, he just wants guys to get together so we can chat and have a friendly forum without too much rubbish or anything going on, talking serious stuff for brand new novices, guys that are just going to maybe plastering college, something like that. Old guys, well, that's me I suppose, but guys even older than me that have been plastering for years. One of you out there, I can't remember your name, sorry my friend, I know you're in your 60s and you've only just started plastering, but quite seriously plastering. I think you're 67 or something, as I can recall. But so good on you, my friend, and thanks for coming along to this to learn stuff and to just chat with other people and get some great ideas and stuff going on. Oh dear, right. Let's pop over to. I've not seen this camera yet. Have you? What do you think of this? Hey, blue's my favourite colour.
Call now on 07516 214 983. Call now on 07516 214 983.
Guys. as well as type in. Okay, let's go. Stu. Hello, Stu. Alright, just a quick shout to say thanks for joining Trowel Talk. Yep, no worries, mate. No worries. Yep, no. I mean, basically, anyone that's doing anything, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's anything to do with plastering, we need to help each other get up the kind of the growth ladder if you want to get anywhere, and not feel like you're wasting your time on this thing, especially when it's something you do as well as your actual job. Because it's like you can come in from work and you think, yeah, I'm done for today. But yeah, so you've got to push yourself a little bit to do stuff like this, which is what Stuart does, what I do, and well, and all the other guys that do these kind of channels. I wanted to do this one because when it comes to doing stuff like there's a live stream, I've looked for live stream plastering, and I haven't found anything quite the same as this yet. So hey ho. At least we're a bit different. Dear. But yeah, cheers then, Stu, for that, mate. Appreciate it. Frankie, hello, mate. I see you use the Land Rover for work. You never fancied a van. No, I think I said a couple of weeks ago, mate. I'm just not a white van man, and the wife wouldn't let me have one on the front because she's not posh. But we got a caravan up in Chichester, but we keep it up there. There's no way she'd want that on the front of the house, and she feels the same way about any kind of big van, regardless of what colour it is. But that's why I've always used something like that. And prior to that, I used to use estate cars and stuff. But yeah, dear. Hi, Mozza. Went overboard into use 9.5. Yeah, 9.5 all the time, mate. I mean, there's no point in them making it if we don't use it. And I've never had any issues. If I feel I need something that's a bit more secure, which might be in a place where a lot of the new places, the ceilings are just all made up of trusses, and rather than having a decent width of joist up there, they've got these silly little things. They only look like they're about an inch wide, and you can kind of move those trusses. And if I'm overboarding something like that in a newer property, I will definitely do that. Eddie, echoing again since you have the voice over coming in about the phone line. Sorry, Eddie, am I getting an echo now? I'm not quite sure. Well, until I play it back later, I'm not quite sure where the echo's kicking in. Perhaps I'm tuning in my microphone. I think most of the setup is the way I normally have it. So yes, Eddie, we have got an echo now. Oh man, I don't know how to get rid of that. So I twiddle about, hang on. Move that over there. I'm going to turn these I've got some other headphone things here as well. I'm going to knock those out and see if that helps. Is that any better? Cheers. I suppose you need me to talk, don't you? To be able to tell if it's echoing or not. It's just that one scene that's doing it. It's to do with your OBS most likely. So it's just this scene. Is it when I'm on this page, Cameron, that it's echoing constantly, or it's just when I'm swapping over? I mean, if I go back to this one, am I still getting an echo now? Hi, Dan. Customer applied 2 coats of 3:1 PVA on a massive ceiling, then the week bore job. I will now be adopting a straight PVA method at a maximum of 1 day before. Needless to say what happened. Yeah, I'm assuming that it didn't go well then. If he'd already done that on the massive a week before the job. Yeah, I've never PVA'd anything a week before the job, but yeah, that's why I always, whatever the weather, I always go for one thick coat of PVA. One of you guys did, I don't think it was you, Dan, said you did the 1 coat PVA, let it go completely off to see how it would work out, and you were well pleased. So, so yeah, if a customer's gonna put it on as well, tell them to put it on neat. I've never had a problem with neat PVA when it comes to people just putting on watered down stuff, and whether it being a week later makes any difference or not, I don't know. I think it's just a couple of watered down. If it's watered down too much, it's more water than PVA. So once once the water dries out, the PVA is kind of not really doing its job. Any other scene, there's no echo. That's better. So I'm better talking on this channel with these pictures than I am on the one with my phone number. Oh no, you'll never ring me. For one, you might be able to remember what the number is. Oh dear, never mind. I'll just chat to you on here and over on the on the Discord server. But the surface that he was doing, I think it was either old plaster or he'd bonded it, but because he couldn't set it the same day, he was just going to put a neat coat of PVA over it and let it dry and skim it in the hoping that the suction wouldn't be too heavy. And I said if he was concerned about it, once he has done the PVA, if he gives it and it's dried properly, if he gives it just a fine spray of water, if it hangs on there, it's fine. If it soaks in, then obviously there's still an issue. But generally, I find if it's got a good coat of PVA on it, well rubbed in, as I say, but neat. And I put fine spray of water on it. It tends to hang there, which means it's not soaking in or not at any great speed that you can't do a decent set on it without it being a problem. Fell down. Oh yeah, mate, fell down. Dan, if the ceiling fell down, that had a couple of coats of water down PVA on. I've said before, that's the only time I had a ceiling fall down on me is I was running low on the PVA, so I watered it down, did a couple of coats, then I bonded that, then I skimmed it, and it was for a builder as well, and a whole lot literally came down the next day, and I had to go back and do it again. Well, I didn't have to, but I'm the kind of plasterer that will. But yeah, I probably would put another coat myself over the top. Dan, sorry to hear that, mate. So no doubt he'll blame you for that, won't he? I mean, PVA is basically, it's meant to form a skin. It's a seal. It's a sealant. It seals the background from whatever you're sticking on it. So I like mine to feel like a dry skin that I touch and I can see it shining on the wall. Yeah, and the ceiling I did that fell down that had the very watered down PVA on it, that was an Artex ceiling. That was making smooth. Right, forgive me guys. Hi Zoltar. Forgive me if I miss any of your words as they're going up the screen. Always skim over dry PVA. Yep, previous day. Martin. Hi Martin. Hi Eric. Do you do your book's paperwork or have an accountant? Which would you recommend for someone starting out? Thanks. Martin, that really depends on whether you're any good at bookwork. I mean, my missus will now do mine, but prior to that, when I started out, I did have an accountant. I had an accountant for years, because when I started off, I had no idea what I was doing, and people said, well, you know, if you're going self-employed, you need to get an accountant, but make sure you keep all your receipts to give him and all the rest of it. But as a few years went by, well, a lot of years actually, another accountant that I used later on, and he was doing me a favour. He was an arm and a leg, considering I haven't got a big company. I'm just a sole trader. And I realised that a friend of one of my daughters worked in his office for a little while, and she said, "Oh, he just gave me your stuff, and I just stuck it in the computer, and it just prints off your thing." I said, "He's not even looked at it," and that cost me dear. And I thought, if it's that simple, apart from there are a few things you need to look up on, then I'll do it myself. So I've not used an accountant for my bookwork for the last 4 or 5 years probably. But you've got to make sure that you do claim for everything that you're entitled to, though, because that would be, yeah, not great. if you mess things up. But yeah, if you've got anyone in your family, mate, that's good at accounts and wouldn't mind doing yours, but you probably are better off to start off with an accountant when you're starting off for your first time. Right, sorry, that was a really long-winded answer, wasn't it? Hi, Mike. Sorry, I've missed one of those questions up there. Charles, just covering materials. I did want to overboard, but they didn't want to lose the space. I think they wish they had now. Thanks. Yeah, never mind, mate. Never mind. Yeah, hi, Mike. Hope you're well. Got the exact same work lights as you got them a few months ago. Great bit of kit. They are, mate, aren't they? I was well pleased. Well pleased with that. I say I've not seen anything like it before. 9 times out of 10, I just stick my lights on the floor because them tripods, they're quite big and clunky normally, especially the ones that take 2 lights and you've got one on this side of a pole and one on the other side of the pole, and the legs sticking out at the bottom. And and these lights as well, they're the ones that don't get that hot, are they? And but being able to use this without having the legs there and just propping it between the sprung-loaded thing between the ceiling and the floor, I love it, mate. Actually, I'm going to get another one, and I'm pretty sure Screwfix are doing a deal on these lights with a tripod rather than buying them separately in like B&Q or somewhere, which is where I picked this one up. But only went out to get another light, and that's when I saw the tripod. And I don't know whether they've been around for ages or whether they're fairly new. John, hello, John. I've got a rendering job to do. The builder put the scratch coat on, but didn't scratch it. I've gone over the walls with a grinder to get a key. Would you use SBR on top of it? Well, it won't hurt to put SBR on top of it, mate. You can do that. Oh man, you had to use a grinder on it to be able to get a bit of a scratch on it. That's crazy. And the builder done that as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could use SBR on that. I mean, obviously, it's good to have some chemical key, especially if you're putting another coat. If that's a scratch coat of sand and cement, and you're putting another coat of sand and cement over the top of that. I'd still be a little bit worried if there wasn't a decent scratch key on it. But, Mozza. Dan Money did the art. Oh, sorry, Mozza, you're talking to Dan. Yeah, no worries. See, that's what the forum would be good for. See, we can all chat on there at the same time, and in a text, or we can have a video of all of us up there, literally from your phone. You haven't got to ring in or anything. Once you've got the app on there, and you click on the chat, you can either just have your voice or you can have video as well. And it's only when you click video that you'll then join the other people's videos, but all on the same screen. It could be mayhem, depending on how many people are there, and if people stop and let someone else talk first. But we'll only find it out when we give it a go. Oh dear. Will work going on upstairs. Will work going on upstairs caused a big issue with newly plastered ceilings. The only issue I've ever had doing the ceiling downstairs when work was going on upstairs was when a labourer, I just finished it, and the labourer leg came through from upstairs because there were no floorboards down. And he'd had a bad week that week anyway, and after he did that, he just walked off the site because I think the builder wasn't going to pay him. Because he'd had, that wasn't the first thing that had happened to him. But other than that, it shouldn't cause you a problem, mate. Shouldn't cause you a problem. How many beers we had? Oh yeah. Hi, lover. Nice to see you, mate. I'm not, Oliver. Yeah, come on, mate. I'm waiting for your membership of the. Of the Ask the Plasterer Discord forum community. so we can have a chat on there as well. Hope you're good, Oliver. Hope you're good. Yeah, we've had no beers, mate. Bigly no beers, sadly. I'm looking forward to a beer at the boozer. It's coming up. It feels like it's getting closer. You know, summer's coming, pub opening's coming, gyms are opening again. A bit of normal life. Can't wait. Thanks, Oliver. Doing this once a fortnight now, but it's a bit nervous. It's all right once you're on here, but I think it's like anything else. Just prior to it, you get a bit nervous, and you think, oh man, I've got to do me live Ask the Plasterer stint. But we're good, man. We're good. Dear. I'm going to pop back over to my other my other page with the echo, just to plug the phone number.
Call now on 07516 214 983. Call now on 07516 214 983.
So we're getting an echo on here still. For no reason I can make head or tail of. But if I am, I'm just going to go back to the other to the other page. Okay, Jordan. Well done, Oliver. Yeah, it'd be nice to see you on that, mate. Jordan, did the Artex ceiling have silk paint on it? I don't know if that makes any difference, as long as it's got a decent coat of gear on it. Skim tends to blow very low suction. I think PVA in this case, and go over with a tacky. You could go with a tacky one as well if you want to. I mean, you guys can try anything you want when it comes to actually doing it, and you're there on the job. I mean, it's absolutely down to you what you do. I can only recommend stuff to you that I do, and that does or doesn't go wrong for me. But yeah, I'm not telling you to do it my way. I'm just saying this is the way I do it. So hey, Eddie, hi Eddie. Yeah, at what point do you use the corner trowel? The internal corner trowel. After the second coat, mate. Yeah, because on the during the first coat, it's hardly worth putting that in there. I mean, some guys might, put their first coat on, run that down, and then do their second coat. But I find I just take my two corners up, get them, fairly neat, but don't, and then take them out with my my speed skim, but don't really worry about using the corner trowel till a lot later on in the second coat. Can you do dot and dab on a wooden background here? Mate, I don't know. It depends how solid the wooden background is, what kind of key it's got, whether it's kind of wood that moves. If it's like if it's a whole wall made of half solid tree trunks, then it'll probably be all right. But I'm always a bit worried about dotting and dabbing it on anything that's not brick or old plaster. I can't remember having a dot and dab job where I've had to dot and dab over wood before. So to be honest with you, mate, I couldn't really tell you what the adhesion of that might be like. Someone else might be able to look it up. If I can find out, I'll let you know. Hi John, what's the best way to apply the SBR when rendering? Do I have to dilute it or paint it on neat? Again, mate, because I normally use PVA for just about everything, I would probably put it on neat. But I think SBR is a bit more expensive though, isn't it? But again, anything, if you have to water down anything apart from emulsion, I don't like to water anything down too much, whatever it might be. But I wouldn't want to tell you to water down SBR and then it didn't do the job. But I know if you put neat PVA on it, mate, it'll be absolutely fine. Zoltar, silk paints make the PVA hang a lot more. Yeah, probably. It does really vary sometimes, the drying time. But as usual, it's a case of, how damp is it in the room, how cold is it that day. Is there a lot of moisture in there from if you've done a lot of rendering in there the previous day, the ceiling and a couple of walls, and there's been no ventilation going on in there, and all that condensation that has hit the windows is also hanging around on some of the walls. Then that's going to start the PVA drying, and yes, a silk paint behind that definitely won't help. Luckily, customer is understanding, family member. That's good, mate. The only other, my very first ceiling that I did have fall down was for a family member. But I think that's because that probably had no PVA on it at all. But I was a novice at the time. But yeah, well, she was quite understanding, but still she wasn't happy. Even though she was my sister. Oh dear. Also, use plasterboard foam to stick board to timber. Plasterboard foam. Plasterboard foam? What are you talking about? The spray stuff, Mozza? The expanding foam? Love the stuff, but expensive and needs a flat surface. Oh, do you mean the plasterboard foam that you can spray on rather than using the adhesive that you mix up and stick on the boards to hold it, to put them on the wall? Because I've used some of that stuff before. Yeah, that is expensive, but I've only used that, again, going over plasterboard, not going over wood. Oh yeah. Did Zoltar, did he find the stilt straps? Because Oliver's got some stilt straps that are padded, and I didn't think you could get them, but you can, and Zoltar was after some. Out of stock on Amazon. Typical. That's because Oliver mentioned it last time he was on here, mate, and of course people just got rushed out. I bought the padded stilts. Dear. Oliver. I think I found some, not sure how to message you. Well, I tell you, well, you can message him on the Discord Plastering forum. Dear, yeah. MP, hello mate. I used the SBR to seal a concrete floor before tiling it. It peeled off like a skin. Ooh, maybe SBR needs thinning to penetrate the substrate. Yeah, as opposed to sticking to the surface. Yeah, that's possible, mate. That's possible. Again, when you're putting anything on a floor, I suppose it's making sure that the dust, that you've completely got rid of all the dust first before you put the SBR onto it. But yeah, thin coat maybe that watered down, and then a neater coat maybe on top of that. Instastick, brilliant, fast curing. Yeah, that's the stuff, Jordan. Instastick, brilliant, fast curing and low expansion. Yeah, I think I used that that stuff. What you're talking about there comes in a tube, and a guy, he had a boarded a wall that had been dot and dabbed, and a section of it was moving. I don't know how long it had been like it, and I literally cut a hole in that area, sprayed that gear in there, pushed the wall back. I can't remember if I held it there with something. I think I had one of the poles I used for holding plasterboards up, just got like a ratchet on the end so you can expand them. And I used that against the wall to hold the board against the Everstick expanding stuff for sticking boards, and that did the job. Obviously then I had to patch up the little hole that I'd cut out, but that wasn't an issue, and the wall was solid again, because I was going to skim over the wall. Well, I did skim over the wall after that, and obviously I didn't want to skim over it when you could push it in and out like a bit of hardboard. So yeah, that worked really well. You just reminded me of that. Yeah, brilliant.
Call now on 07516 214 983.
Right, guys, is there still an echo on here? I'll stay on here until someone lets me know. Because I need to suss out what's causing it. Oh, did you watch me rendering around the plug socket video? Still echoing. Okay. I'll just play the number once more. I'll go back to the other screen. Ring me, somebody. Come on. Are you shy? Right, hang on. Yeah, we're back in the room without an echo. How are we doing on time? Okay, cool. What I might do... Oh, Wayne. Hi, Wayne. What do you think of sponge floating? Have you done many videos on that? No, mate, I haven't sponge floated for years, so I've done no videos on it. I just find it's an extra thing to add to when you're doing a set. I mean, guys go on about two coats, and you should do 2 coats, but you can get away with 1 coat. And if you want to go by the book, then really you should be putting 3 coats of finish on a wall. If you look back in some proper plasterers stuff, you used to have to put a coat on with a steel float, and then with a wooden float, and then another coat of a steel float, and then you take it from there, and then you would either rub it up with a wooden float or a sponge float. And but man, if you did that on a job, you'd be there forever. And if you're working on a building site, they'd get shot of you for just messing about too much. They want it flat and smooth as quickly as possible. And if they're happy with it and it looks great, then however you got there. But if you could do 3 or 4 coats of gear fast and sponge it and all the rest of it, then yeah, go for it. But I just find it just takes too long. When you trying to make money out of this game, you don't want to be on a job longer than you have to be. I start at 8. I often end up not going home anywhere before 5, and sometimes a little bit late, especially in the summer when you don't realise how late it's getting. But generally speaking, if you start at 8, you should be going home at 4 at the latest. Cameron, yes mate, I would ring, but I've got no signal and I'm eating dinner. Dear. Most people won't ring because they're on their phone doing this, and they think, no, I'll have to I'll have to come out of this and to ring the fella. What's the point of that? The point of that is you'll be able to hear yourself later on when you have a quick flick through this when it goes up on YouTube after the live stream. Oh dear. People obviously don't mind just listening to me rabbing on. I can't think why. Oh dear. Extra time or speed up additive. No, recently when I was listening to Blaine the first time, he said he was using some additive and it just didn't work. And I thought, yeah, well, it don't work for Blaine, and I've tried it once and it didn't work for me, then I'm not going to bother. But one of his more recent videos, he said, oh yeah, try this stuff, it's great, as an ad mix. And so far it's worked every time. So I might give it a go now, but I don't know, it would probably throw me because I'm so used to what speed the stuff goes off at. Recently, guys have been complaining that the multi-finish seems to be going off funny or drying funny, or like there's something wrong with it. I can't say that I've noticed anything specifically different about it, but yeah. Used to always use dirty water or cement in the bonding when patching, goes off like a rocket. Yeah, I've tried that sometimes as well, and but 9 times out of 10 I'm thinking that'll speed up their bonding. I put dirty cement, water in it and God knows what else, and it's still hung about. Oh dear. I must be just doing it wrong. I don't think my water's dirty enough, or maybe I'm not putting enough cement in it. Oh no, my luck. If I do, it'll go off so quick. I won't even get it out of the bucket before it goes on the wall. I know you recommend the speed skims, the plastic ones. Maybe a Marshalltown perma shape for laying on. What flexibility trowel or an ultra flex? Marshalltown. Sorry, Wayne, I think you're talking to me there. I know you recommend the speed skims, the plastic ones. Yeah, definitely. But you haven't got to use them. I just find it a lot easier to get a wall coated up as quickly as possible and then roll it off with that rather than spending a little bit more time putting the first coat on a bit more neat. But depends what you're used to. Some guys will not touch a speed skim, especially some old school guys. They say, wasted time, what's the point? And if they're happy doing it that way, as I say, it's a bit tougher on your joints, but man, you got to do it the way you're happy. But if when you're putting on, you definitely won't be putting on with one. I've used the Marshalltown forever. There are other, you can get kneelers as well. You can get lots of different trowels that are good solid ones, not flexible for laying on. But you want to the flexible trowels. You only want to use those really your last bit of troweling up with some of the water and stuff. If you use a flexible trowel too soon, it will definitely have an adverse effect on your skim and on your set. So Marshalltown for laying on, flexibles only for finishing off right near the end. Whoops! Oh, Zoltar, that's crazy times, Eric. I'm at the house from 8:30 and always away by 4 the latest. Yeah, no, that's sensible, mate. That's the way it should be. If the mix ain't on by 2, I don't bother. Yeah, I normally only do 2 sets a day. I mean, I can do quite big sets, but if I'm doing prep in the morning as well and sorting some prep out after that, I don't like putting another set on if I'm going to end up being there till 5 or 6, unless I'm literally trying to finish a job off, and I think I've got to knock up another one, and that's at least another 2 hours before I'm going home. But yeah, I'll only get 3 sets on something if it's big and I've literally started. I've already prepped the day before, PVA'd the lot, and I'm literally putting the ceiling on at 8 in the morning. Not getting there, but literally putting it on at 8, and then if I'm bashing out a whole like big room, and then hit 2 of the walls in another set, and then hit the other 2 in a third set. Again, depending on the size of the room. But generally, I only knock out a couple of sets a day, but that's good enough for me. Obviously, if you can't cover much of an area with one set, then you'd probably need to do a couple more. You put the sachet in after the plaster. You're supposed to put it in with the water. Who did that, Cam? Was that Blaine? No. Or was that someone else who's watching? Put the sachet in after the plaster. You're supposed to put it in with the water. Yeah, most ad mixes you're meant to put it in at the time that the water's in there before you put any plaster in it, to make sure it's well distributed within the water to do its job. That's why it didn't work the first time for him. Oh, okay. So first time it went wrong for Blaine, he was obviously saying that's where he went wrong. Okay, fair dues, mate, fair dues. Jordan, it's happened to me before, not had a chance to get the bonding out of the bucket before it's set, and also cream of tartar works the same as extra time. Yeah, cream of tartar is the classic, I think, for doing that, for holding it back so it don't go off quite so quick. I don't know if cream of tartar's, well, it used to be a cheap option, but I don't know how much the extra time is. But I might give it a try at some point just to see how I get on with it. Preferred trowel size 14 inch for me, mate. Only because I've been using it as 14 inch for so long. The only time I used a 16 and bigger was doing some massive skimming jobs. It was terrible getting off the stuff off the Hawk, but great when you were like troweling up and down these really long passageways I was doing in a hotel. But other than that, yeah, 14's about. It's the just right. It's the Goldilocks of sizes in trowels, I reckon. But we'll try 16 MP, and see how you feel with it. Eric, when I'm skimming the ceiling, I always get plaster on the cove edge. Nightmare cleaning it off. Any tips, please? Oh, mate, yeah. No, that is a pain in the backside. I can get in fairly neatly, but I tend to then, once I've gone up around there, I'll run my finger and thumb just along the member of it, the bottom of the cove. You could clean it off a little bit with a brush and water. But when the whole job is, as long as it's clean, then when the whole job is done, I run a cork bead around that part where the finish meets the existing coving underneath, so you get a nice, neat, clean line. Looks great. Looks much better than not doing that. If you're not doing the walls as well. But yeah. So any tips I've got on that front, mate, is you can run a small wet brush around it. Try and keep it as clean as you can, as you go. But of course, if you're messing about too much, depending on the size of the ceiling, you don't want the gear going off on you. But again, I suppose that's another experience thing, and how long you've been doing it, and all the rest of it. To me before. God, blimey. Apart from having to listen to just myself, because none of you will ever ring me, because of the other page echoes, I've got to constantly watch that video of me on the bottom with that bloody fantastic tripod. I did mention it that it's not a paid promotion or anything. I just liked it, so I'm not getting paid for promoting it. What else was it? Yeah, they don't do it on Amazon. They do one of those lights, a battery operated one on Amazon, and that's it. They don't do the other lights. They don't do the plug-in lights. They don't do this tripod. If they did do it, mate, I would definitely have put an affiliate link on the bottom of that video. So at least I get a bit of kickback of it. But nothing. So, Screwfix seems to be a good place to get that at the minute. Some other places might do a deal on it, but you can't get it on Amazon. Stupid Amazon. You can get your greengroceries there now, though, can't you? It's taking over the world. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know how much the tartar is, Zoltar. I don't know if one of you other guys know how much tartar is to put in as an additive. It's cream of tartar, isn't it? You use it in cooking, I think. Is it cooking? Used to be a chef, I should know. I'm doing a big... Hi, Brett. I'm doing a big Artex ceiling tomorrow. Any good tips? Big Artex ceiling. Yes, mate. Put a really good, neat coat of PVA all over it. Let it dry completely. Then bond it. If you are... I smooth out. I cover the whole thing in bonding, and I smooth it. I didn't used to, but now I smooth it out with the speed skim, the plastic blade, because I use it on bloody everything now. To smooth out the bonding, then I leave that to dry. If you are skimming the bonding the same day, don't put anything else on it. Just as soon as it's picked up enough that you think, yeah, that's not going to move, knock up your set, and the bond and the set will kind of really harden up together. If you're going to leave the bonding till the next day, then again a neat coat of PVA, in my opinion, over that bonding, and once that's dry, skim it. You don't want suction from the next day in the bonding, pulling off the finish too tight. If it goes too quick, it's a nightmare. You probably discovered that on smaller stuff or on other stuff you might have done before. But so that's my advice to you, mate. If you're doing that tomorrow, good luck with that. Let us know how it goes. Though this won't be up and running, the plastering community forum on Discord, where there's links in the description. You can go on there and let us know what's happened, because I'd like actually you guys for you to put pictures and or video of some of your jobs on there, as well, just so we got something we can discuss. And jobs like this that you're doing, like that ceiling you're doing tomorrow, let us know how it goes. Put a picture up or some video up and on there, and yeah, it'd be nice to be able to then chat about that, what went right, what went wrong. Yeah, good stuff. It's going to be fun. Yeah, big ceilings are always fun, mate. You should know that. No worries, Brett. No worries at all. But yeah, I do like to get the ceiling out of the way. Whenever I go out onto any job and it's a big ceiling, I kind of look at it and I think, oh, great. Not. And if it's too big, because I'm mostly working on my own, if it's too big and I have to put a joint in it, I think, oh man. But which doesn't matter with the bonding. It's just when you get into the skimming part. But as long as you know how to do a decent two halves and get a really good joint in it, it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, get to see if I can bash out a ceiling. I have done some big ceilings in one hit with a skim because I don't like putting a joint in anything. I keep meaning to, and I haven't yet because I'm an idiot. Bought the pole attachment for the speed skims because when I'm putting my gear up there on the ceiling, I'm up there on my stilts ruling it off, and it would be just a lot easier to take my stilts off, stick my speed skim on a pole, and do it from the floor. But yeah, I live and learn. It's only about 26 quid. And actually, no, I don't think it's even that. But yeah, I'm going to get one. And I'm going to do some videos of me using that. Because I think in doing that, especially if you've got some different size speed skims, you can whack a pretty big ceiling on and level it out nice and quick from the floor. Tablespoon is about right. Oh, I've missed that text goes up. When text goes up my screen and I can't see it again. Well, there might be a way of bringing it back down, but I don't know how to do it. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, you listen to Cameron. Be sure to post pictures on Discord. Thank you very much. Oh dear. Will do. Well done, Brett. Yeah, you do that, mate. I appreciate it. It'd be good. Heart sinking big. Yeah. Nah, it'd be great. Just have an early night tonight, mate. Don't stay on here too long. And yeah, and get up full of the joys of spring and hit that ceiling. Same for all of you guys tomorrow. Just yeah, jump out of bed with a spring in your step. I haven't done it for a while. I've done it once this year. I've got an ice bath in the garden. It's a plastic mixing bath actually, and I fill it with water because I've got into this cold stuff. And before work, I mean, it's not too bad in the summer. You do this in the winter. Before work, you go out in the garden basically, and you dunk yourself in it, stick your head under the lot, and just come back out, then dry yourself off, get dressed, and then go to work. That'll wake you up. But it does that. It's good for the old feel-good hormones. I can't remember what they're called. Mozza. Cream of tartar, £1.15 for 140 grams. So if it works, massively cheaper than extra time. Yeah, oh, nice one. There you go, guys. £1.15 for 140 grams of cream of tartar. So, yeah, I'd give that a go first. As I say, that is the classic thing you'd put in as an ad mix before they used this other extra time and branded stuff. Like anything else you buy as a branded product, it's going to cost you more money. That's why I buy the cheapest B&Q PVA. Because it's still only a tenner for a gallon, 5 litres in the new money. £40 for the pole attachment. I'm going to have to shop around, Cameron, because I've seen it really expensive in Selco, and I've seen it cheaper in Screwfix, I think. But that's only looking online, and I haven't actually bought the thing. I will take a look tonight if it's not too late and order myself one. Eddie, decorating pole is the same thread for the speed skim. Yeah, the decorating pole thread fits the fitting that goes onto the speed skim. So you haven't got to buy the pole. You can literally buy just the fitting if you've already got a decorator's pole, which most of us have. Decorating pole the same thread. Better option. Brett, 2 halves. I think I'll put some bicarbonate soda in the mix too. Yeah. Okay, mate. Again, I don't know if my concern would be because I've got so used to basically how long I have before my multi-finish goes off. If I start making it last a bit longer, I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I don't know if it'll be better for me or whether it just causes me issues because I'm not used to it. But there's only one way to find out. But good luck with it, Brett, anyway, mate. And yeah, I look forward to seeing your pictures and having a chat about it on the forum. Jordan, yeah. Hi, mate. Have I tried or heard of plaster spot indicators? No. Short answer. Hang on. I only recently discovered them. They're fantastic when customers get taken off? Oh, radiators, is that taken off? You can take the brackets off and put the plaster spot indicators over the holes. With the holes plug it, yeah, and they bleed through red or green on the skin. I might give them a try, Jordan, because it sounds like a good idea. But another fella I watched, and this was only about 6 months ago. He knocks the screws in, and skims over it. He says, "I'll find those later." And I think, how the hell are you going to find exactly where the screw is? And he only taps them just below, so it's literally just got this, or more or less flush. So he just got the skim gun over the top, and he got out a little round magnet, and he goes over roughly the area, and the little round magnet more or less sticks to where the centre of the screw is, and that's how he finds the screw. So that's another, once you bought the magnet, a cheaper way of doing it. But the plaster spot things, yeah, they sound a good idea as long as they're not an arm and a leg. And I've no doubt they work because going around screws and brackets. I mean, I tend, most of my customers, I tell them if they're not changing the radiator for a completely different one, to leave the brackets on, because I would rather plaster around radiator brackets than plaster around all those flipping screws sticking out the wall. Because again, with that, it's so easy to forget for a second they're there, and if you whack the edge of your trowel against the screw, oh man, not nice. But these plaster spot things, give those a try, or yes, try the magnet thing. But obviously, I want, if there's a great big screw in there, I probably wouldn't whack that back in. I'll put a smaller screw in the wall, make sure I tap it back so it's just flush with the surface, so you've only got your skim covering it. And because if you haven't got a strong enough magnet, it ain't gonna work. But most half decent magnets should do that. Little round magnet, bang, you're there. Jordan, £8 for a pack of 24 stickers. Okay, yeah, because you're not going to probably use them that often, are you? And if they're accurate, then Bob's your uncle for the marks there, and just leaves it there for the customer to. Yeah, I suppose if you do that with these spots and they bleed through, then you go, the customer, there you go, that's where you've got to drill your new hole. Whereas if you cover them up, you've got to pick the little hole out again yourself afterwards, which isn't a big deal, but it's an extra thing you can do without having to do, I suppose. But that's not bad. £8 for 24 stickers. Jordan, is that on? Was that on like Amazon or somewhere, or from one of the shops? Let us know, mate. Oh, sorry, on Amazon. Yes, it's an age thing. Well worth the money. Yeah, cool. I hate plastering round screws. Yeah, yeah, nothing worse, mate. Nothing worse than hitting that chair. Oh, plastering Centurion. Hi, mate. What's the main difference between metal blade speed skim and the plastic? The plastic one, it kind of, when you go over it, flattens it off, opens up the texture of the finish, helps it dry a little bit quicker, if I'm honest. but that's not a big deal. The metal blade is good for using really for troweling up at the end like a massive trowel, because if you use a metal blade over a fresh coat of plaster instead of the plastic one, it brings all the water to the surface, and you don't, when you've just put a skim on, you don't want that happening. I hope that works, mate, for you. I'm getting the hang of the Metal Blade 900, but I see the experienced guys on YouTube using the plastic more often. Yeah, mate. If you're rolling off, I mean, when you put your first coat on with a plastic blade, you can roll it off straight away. I've tried rolling off straight away with a metal blade to see what would happen, but you've got more chance of blistering. As I say, it brings water to the surface where the plastic one doesn't. So I definitely advise getting the plastic one and trying that out on your first coat. As I say, I do. As soon as my first coat, when it's still soaking wet, as soon as I've got it on, I run the plastic speed skim over it. But I wouldn't do that with a metal one, and I would just use the metal one. Normally, for me, when I'm at the, I've done the second coat, and I'm spraying water on it and using it like a big trowel. It does a lovely job. And going up and going down, gets all really nice and flat. Now, I get this tiger stripe advice thing all the time. People are asking me on here, and I think it's normally either you're hitting something too soon or you're hitting it too late and having to chuck a load of water on it, and that'll put tiger stripes in it. It's finding that right spot. I mean, if it's going off too fast because you're putting on too big an area, then you can handle it at the minute, and you're having to chuck a lot of water on it, that will give you tiger stripes. If you go over it too soon with with a trowel or with a metal bladed speed skim, that can give you tiger stripes in it if you're not careful. Jordan, yes, less stress, anything to make the job easier and less hassle. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they probably don't do those things in the builders merchants or yet anyway. Malcolm, hi Malcolm. Another idea is to put earbuds in the bracket holes. If you hit them with a trowel, no problem. Oh, earbuds. Yeah, can do. It's just having anything really sticking out the wall, Malcolm, that's just kind of a little bit in the way. When you could, it's nice just to be able to take your trowel straight across something, and not. Obviously it's great. It definitely won't damage your trowel if you hit those, but it's still something else to go around. If there's anywhere where there's screws and stuff, if there's some way of pushing them in or taking them out and putting these things in that bleed out a little bit of colour dead in the centre, then obviously, as I say, when you're putting your skim on, you ain't got to worry about going around anything. Oh yeah, there you go. Jordan used to do that before the paper spots. Yeah, I used to stick matchsticks in holes, or the worst thing I did was take a screw out and think, yeah, I'll just go right up to the edge of the hole. That was stupid. That was a while ago as well, though, thankfully. Oh dear. Yeah, definitely. Brett, I bought a sponge. Oh, sorry, mate. I bought a sponge float today. Never used one before. Are they any good? The only thing I use a sponge float on is rubbing up render as a finish, exterior render, because it's much more forgiving when you're finishing something off. If you have done a bit of work on something and it's not a small area, it's not a small area. And you can rub something up with a sponge float sooner than you can with a plastic float, which is good to know if the sun's going down. It's just not quite gone off enough to finish off that last little corner with the water soaked down to the bottom. Using the plastic float, you can use a sponge float on it, I just use sponges. I did buy a sponge float, but I never use the thing. And yeah, Brett, I don't use a sponge float on finish or anything like that. Indoors, just only because for me personally, I don't see the point of it. Don't see the point of it. But some guys love them. Blaine uses them. I don't know if he uses it all the time, but I had tiger stripes on one side of the door, but the other side was perfect. Can't work it out. You mean on one side on the left hand side of the door there was no tiger stripes, on the right hand side there was tiger stripes? I don't know, mate. You know what you need to do? You need to take a little bit of video with a phone or something, pop over to the Discord plastering forum community that we set up with help from Cameron. Thanks, Cam, again. And pop it on there with a little bit of a text. Show us a picture of it, and we can discuss it on there between a lot of us, and try and sort this problem out, because I'm not putting up with this tiger stripe. Sorry guys, OBS just told me that I got disconnected there for a second and then reconnected again. Oh, I don't know why, it's not happened to me before. My missus must be on the internet at the same time. Won't do. I've told her. Will she listen? No. Have you seen the tripod that you can put up with no legs? Oh dear. I think you need to cross trail more. Oh, that's possibly, mate. Yeah, I mean, I always cross trail at the end of any jobs I'm doing. Once I've done all the up and down stuff, and then I normally finish off most of my walls, especially cross trailing from one end to the other, from the top down to the bottom. Just gives you that nice last kind of finish. I think it can happen if you constantly dragging the gear in one direction, possibly. Yeah, that might be a cause. It's like I say, if you drag a metal speed skim over even the second coat a little bit too soon in one direction, you can get a dragging, which could cause the tiger stripes. You won't go back once you've used them. What are we talking about? The old spot things again? Yeah, post some pictures on the Discord this week, mate. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that, Jordan. Pictures, guys. Pictures, chat, video. Get over there. I'm not gonna come off of here yet, but I'm gonna go off of here a little bit earlier tonight and pop over to the forum so we can test it out. If any of you guys can come pop over there as well, put some pictures on it, just have a text chat with me, or a video chat, or an audio chat, or any kind of chat. Oh dear. Discord, yeah. Malcolm, Jordan. Oh yeah, okay. So you can all thank each other on there as well. It's all good stuff. We've got to help each other out, guys. Yeah, just for people that, because obviously people don't watch this whole thing all over again once it goes up as a video. I don't blame them. But yeah, it's good to just to remind everybody that this site, this channel, Ask the Plasterer, the forum thing, it's all for novices, for seasoned tradesmen, for DIYers, for customers as well that want to say, oh, you plasterers, how much for this, how much for that, how much do you charge a day? Are you anywhere near me so I can employ you? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's for all of us, man, and I just think we should all help each other out, which is what this is about. So, hey. Do tiger stripes happen more with bald finish? Andrew, they might do, mate, actually. Again, I mean, I only used to use, back in the day, it was like Carlite finish for walls and thistleboard finish for plasterboard ceilings. I used to think that Thistle finish went off quicker than multi-finish, but the last time I used a Thistle, it went off more slowly. So I get confused. Some of the speed stuff should or shouldn't be going off nowadays. I ended up buying a load of ball finish, especially when there wasn't much multi-finish about, but there was quite a bit of ball finish. And for some reason, B&Q were flogging off ball finish for about 50 pence a bat. I didn't buy any. I should have done, but I don't want to keep it in my garage. And a lot of guys are just using a lot of Thistle ball finish instead on top of everything. But yeah, it's all multi-finish now mostly, so I haven't used much Thistle, I say, apart from when we had that really bad shortage because of the flipping lockdown. Thought it would be good for livening up the plaster if it's going off. What, Brett? What would be good for livening up the plaster? I only ever liven up the plaster with water. I would never put anything else. Well, I haven't tried putting any admix into plaster that I'm like bringing back to do my second coat with. I wouldn't have time to mess about with an admix for that. I'm so kind of like, well, I've got that coat on, right, all this stuff's starting to thicken up, right, let's water it down. And I have been known to water down the stuff I've got left in the bucket up to 3 times. Get it nice and thin. I mean, because the thinner you can handle it when you water it back down again, obviously it takes that a little bit longer to go off anyway. It's only if you make it a little bit thinner by adding water to it that it goes off like a rocket. But you can, yeah, as I say, it's the way I was taught was to just knock up what I had left of the first mix for the second coat, so it all goes off at the same speed, and you haven't got different speeds of like the first coat nearly dry, and then you're putting the second coat on it and waiting for that. Good point. What is your day rate? If you're asking me, Zoltar, my day rate varies anywhere between £200 and £400, depending on the job. But because I'll most of my jobs I give the customers a price for. But if it's because they can, if I have one of those days where I basically the room is prepared and I'm doing and I get quite a big room and I'm bashing out the ceiling and all the walls in a day. So basically I'm doing a room in a day. I'm not going to do that for 200 quid. Do that for nothing. I'm not going to do it for 400 quid. But yeah, I don't tend to do much day rate stuff unless there's an issue with a job or it's a massive job and the headache of trying to price it up. I just go, look, mate, I'll charge you this much a day, and if you're happy and I'm happy, then we're good to go. Cameron, the sponge brings all the fat to the surface. That it definitely does, Cam. It definitely does. And you can use that to the front and fills hollows, but don't rely on it. Yeah, that's what the sponge floating is for. Basically, is to bring fat to the surface, and well, yeah, it kind of flattens the wall a little bit more as well. If it's not gone, if it's dry enough, if it's too wet, then it won't help flatten the wall out. But it will bring a lot of fat to the surface, and then the fat is kind of rubbed in or used the trowel to go over that with. But yeah, I'm not going to mess about with sponge float. But you guys feel free to. No, yeah. If it's got big hollows in it by that time, Cam, then yeah, you're going to have issues anyway, mate, aren't you? Eddie, what do you do if you finish the wall and discover a few dips in the plaster? Do you fill them? It depends what kind of dip, mate. If you're talking about some silly little thing that you can put a bit of filler in, then I will put a bit of filler in it. Preferably if it's one of those jobs where I'm going back the next day or the day after, or it's more than a one-dayer, then you can see what it's like, and I'd rather put some filler on a plaster that's dried out or drying out than putting it straight over some wet plaster. But there's no harm in doing that because I've done that before. If it's a massive dip, then don't know. Depends if it's too big, you might have to skim the wall again. But if it's a small dip that you can put some plaster over and it's very tight, then you could do that. Obviously, the ideal is not to have to, but sometimes these things happen. Brett, you hate pricing jobs. Oh, mate, I hate pricing jobs. I hate doing quotes. I don't hate doing the work, but I'd rather I gave them a quote and they just paid me and I didn't have to do it. That would be my ideal. I go, there's your quote, mate. Yep. Yeah, I'll take the money now. And yeah, can you get another guy in to do the actual work? That'll do it for nothing. Oh dear. But yeah, bookwork, paperwork. So that's just all the things that come with being self-employed and or one-man band. But if you do, like Stuart, my mate Stuart, if he's got some other guys working for him, and maybe getting more, and if you can handle the hassle of that, it's great. But then that does mean more paperwork at the end of the day, and you definitely want an accountant once you're dealing with building up a small company. The good side to building up a company is that when you're off, there's still money being earned. Well, hopefully, if everything's going well. I did that years ago, but I just had grief with some of the plasterers not doing a good enough job as far as the clients were concerned, and you're the person that will get the phone calls and the headaches, not the other guys. And then you've got to deal with the plasterers, and I'm not going back there. Dear, I've got the experience now, but because I did that when I was really starting off, and I was still quite well in my early 20s. Yeah. Quotes. Yeah, quite, and some stuff. Even now, for as long as I've been doing this, sometimes I will look in a room and I think, how much is this? I'll take pictures or video, bring it home, and I'll look through that and knock up my quotes. I mean, some stuff generally I can look at standard size rooms in standard size domestics. It's when you go to a pretty big domestic where it's the room's 3 times the size of the normal lounge. I think, right, I've got to work this out properly because I don't want to underprice myself. Because even at my tender age and after years I've been doing this, I've still underpriced jobs before. I still do them for the same money, but you kind of think, oh, you have to oh dear, I've underpriced this one. You can normally tell when you've underpriced a job is when the client bites your hand off to accept your quote. Oh dear. Yeah, just small dips, Eddie. Then yeah, put a bit of filler in them, mate. Yeah, no worries. What I might do, especially as my I'm sick of watching myself put this tripod together, and because there's echoes on the other channel. I'm going to probably call it an early evening on here, but then I'm going to go over to Discord for any of you guys that are still on here, and yeah, see if we can get that thing working. I said I hate when a customer asks how much 2 minutes after looking at it. Oh yeah, don't, mate, don't. Yeah, walking. Yeah. I've had those. You walk in and you're just looking around and they go, "Oh, can you give me a ballpark?" I mean, no, I can, but it'll be wrong, mate. So don't ask. I'll send you a written quote, and it'll definitely be what it says on the written quote. But whatever I tell you now, that'll be pie in the sky. Right, we have been on here. What? Yeah, long enough, guys, for tonight. I'm going to pop over to. I'm going to shut us down for tonight on this. Thanks for coming. How do you position your lights? Whichever way I can, mate. It's difficult when you're putting lights up, and you need plenty of them. Sometimes you think, oh, that'll do, and then you put your big bucket there, and the bucket's in the way, which is why the tripod's good, because you can put no end of lights on this tripod, and point them in all different directions at the same time, all off of one post. Or you can buy a couple of these, and it's just the more lights you got in there, the better, basically. Because sometimes I'm having to keep shifting the light around if I've only got one on me or two on me. Positioning of lights, mate. It's yeah, it's just one of those things you have to twiddle about with. It depends on the room as well, shape of it, size of it, whether it's really dark out because it's stormy and all that kind of stuff, or whether it's a bright sunny day. Yeah, no, you don't look you don't look like you know what you're doing, Brett. Yeah. Nice one, guys. Stay safe. Yeah, guys. Zoltar, pop over to if you've got the chance. Pop over to the forum. I'm going there now. I'm shutting down. Thanks for coming here, guys. Got to find the right button, which I think is this one. I'll see you over there, or if not, I'll see you in the next video, or I'll see you back on here in 2 weeks' time. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.